Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Mayor Mark Mitchell's 7th Annual State of the Neighborhoods. We are happy to have you join us this morning. Now is the time to fill up another cup of coffee and settle in for the show. If you would like to receive the Brewing Strong Connections mug, please visit the City of Tempe's Neighborhood Services website and click on the 2020 State of the Neighborhoods RSVP link. For those of you who already have your coffee mug in hand, let's see them. Snap some photos and post them online using hashtag #BrewingStrongConnections. For those of you watching your friend, neighbor, or loved one receive an award, we encourage you to show your support by providing likes and comments to this live stream. With that, I present to you Mayor Mark Mitchell.
Well, thank you, and good morning to everyone, and welcome to the 7th Annual State of the Neighborhoods. At this annual event, we are usually gathered together on a cool April morning at the Tempe History Museum, shaking hands, eating fruit, and of course donuts, and drinking some cartel coffee, and recognizing the amazing individuals and groups that have contributed greatness to our neighborhoods over the last year. There is no denying that this year's State of the Neighborhoods has never looked so different, but this event isn't about free food, certificates, or even a golden rake. Initially, I created this event because I wanted to provide residents with a chance to learn about what's going on in Tempe neighborhoods. It made sense to bring that conversation to our neighborhood awards, where we celebrate those who have contributed to our community by adding character, camaraderie, and unique beauty to our neighborhoods. For the last 7 years, this event has been a great opportunity to learn and become inspired by our honorees. And especially this year, it's about brewing strong connections. So while we may look different today, my desire is that we come and we walk away from the 7th Annual State of the City Neighborhoods with the same feeling of pride and motivation and hope. In a little bit, we'll be taking some time to recognize our neighborhood award honorees, and we'll be showing you some of the great work that got them nominated by their friends and neighbors. And for those that have received a Brewing Strong Connections mug, please don't forget to snap a photo and post them online with the hashtag #BrewingStrongConnections. I also share some of the same amazing examples of how Tempe has come together during this challenging time. We've got some amazing stories of resilience, collaboration, and caring, and I'm so proud of the way that this community reached out to others to help everyone through this difficult time. At this time, I want to recognize my council colleagues with us virtually this morning. We have Vice Mayor Lauren Kuby, Councilmember Jennifer Adams, Councilmember Robin Arredondo Savage, Councilmember Arlene Chin, Councilmember Randy Keating, and Councilmember Joel Navarro. Many thanks to our Neighborhood Advisory Commission members for helping shape this year's event. I also want to share my appreciation to all of the Tempe boards and commission members who joined us for the honoree caravan, helping to solicit and select honorees for their respective award categories: the Arts and Cultural Commission and Sustainability Commission. And of course, I have to take a few minutes to thank the incredible neighborhood staff who helps communicate to all of you, that helps put on the neighborhood programs and events. Shauna, Laura, and E.T., thank you for all you do, for all your years of service and good memories with me. I also want to give a special thank you to Alex Chin and Samantha Sturck for making this virtual event possible. Thank you so much. Just as this event has been upended, we as a nation and community have had nearly every aspect of our daily life turned upside down. While everyone has felt the impact of the coronavirus pandemic differently, we've all felt a common sense of uncertainty. Uncertainty for some of us when our next paycheck will come and how will we pay our rent or mortgage. Uncertainty about how we'll be able to work a full-time job while also being turned into a homeschool teacher overnight. Uncertainty about how we'll get to see your loved ones and friends again. And as we've seen an increase in the numbers of coronavirus cases over the last few weeks, we're all experiencing a renewed sense of uncertainty. As humans, we strive for stability with a knowledge of what will come next. So how can we combat the uncertainty that permeates our current predicament? The only way I see that is that we have to come together to build up the fabric of our community. In my 20 years of service to this city, I am constantly amazed by how our Tempe community comes together. The uncertainty we've all experienced did not paralyze us. It's quite the opposite. It sprouted growth in our city and our community. Tempeans showed up and embraced empathy, generosity, and connectedness. Let me give you an example. When the city provided refunds to parents whose children participate in Kids Zone, the city's after-school program, when they closed due to the pandemic, 37 generous families requested that they not receive their refund. Instead, they asked that that money be used to help pay for any outstanding balances or to be offered to families facing tight financial times so that their kids could participate in upcoming summer programs. In total, these 37 families donated a total of over $4,600 to help their neighbors. How amazing is that? And how many stories did you see on Facebook or next door of individuals providing friends and neighbors who couldn't otherwise find items like masks, bleach, and of course the big one, toilet paper? Folks stepped up to share their supplies and donated what they had. But most importantly, Tempeans reached out to the elderly neighbors, high-risk friends or families in need, to offer to shop for them, raise donations for them, or pair them up with a volunteer who could make sure that they had the food and the staples they needed. We saw neighborhood associations do what they do best. Not only did they keep their neighborhoods informed and their neighbors, they actively worked to keep spirits high. Neighborhood leaders from one end of the city to the other have been creatively reaching out to neighbors and extending support and measures of kindness. They help to create community connections by organizing scavenger hunts and front yard concepts and concerts. And they help pass along ideas on how to make painted rocks or chalk art, or even set up a mini golf courses in their front yards. And neighborhood leaders weren't the only ones coming up with clever ideas to give back. And when we say Tempe loves local, we mean it. Because businesses love us back. So many businesses that we love adopted and adapted to their business models and products to meet the needs of this community during these pandemic times. Crate Bar donated bags of granola to the Tempe Community Action Agency. Fabric, the city's fashion incubator, turned their business into a full-fledged medical gown manufacturing operation. Breweries and distilleries like Adventurous Stills and Hell of a Brewing Company donated hundreds of gallons of hand sanitizer to Tempe Fire Medical Rescue and other fire departments. Spinato's Pizzeria provided dinner to furloughed hospitality workers, while Cafe La Bella gave away meals to first responders. And Sombreros, a personal favorite, donated over 5,000 free meals to anyone who needed it. And if Sombreros green chili doesn't put a smile on your face, well, I don't know what will. So many acts of kindness and generosity, all of which brew up strong community connections. And our Tempe employees, can't forget them, because they have generously answered the call for service. We had employees helping the school districts with food boxes, and homeless outreach specialists increasing their efforts by handing out water bottles, snack bags, and hygiene kits. Our Care 7 youth specialists, who would normally support high school students, added middle schoolers to the list of individual students to reach out to offer support. Because while we think isolation is tough as adults, just think about what your teenager is going through. But seriously, if you have teenagers like me, it seems like torture. But isolation can have an effect on your mental health, especially for our youth. Our employees have dedicated themselves to this community, and I couldn't be prouder of the work that they've been doing. Our community organizations like the Tempe Community Action Agency, the First United Methodist Church, the Tempe Lighthouse and First Baptist Church of Tempe, all upped their game and focused their resources on helping feed our vulnerable population. Tempe Community Action Agency has been operating its food pantry and offering extra utility assistance for Tempe households. iHelp is helping connect our homeless to behavioral health clinics, drug rehabilitation, and medical services, and other resources to try to keep the pandemic from spreading in this vulnerable community. And finally, our partner, Arizona State University, Go Devils, has had their students step up to help as well, with teachers from the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College providing free and accessible education programs to kids from pre-K to 12th grade. And when you take a moment to look back and appreciate all the actions of this community over the last 3 months, and then 3.5 months actually, it's staggering. And these are just a few examples of how our community responded in the face of uncertainty. And I wish I could provide you with the certainty about what and when this pandemic will be over. But as you know, none of us know. What I can tell you is that Tempe is resilient. We have an ability to use the means available to us and use resources such as communication, technology, food, transportation, and collective action to respond and withstand recovery from adversity. Everything I've spoken thus far really speaks to the truth of that. Being a resilient city depends on strong connections. And as a city, we've been brewing for years. Game night, the Marianne Quarter Neighborhood Grant Program, Arts in the Park, inviting our residents to provide input of all the different aspects into shaping our city. These are programs and initiatives that build on social fabric of our city. I'm so proud that I've helped contribute to the resilience and the strength of this city. It's always been my number one priority throughout my time as mayor. These last few months of public service have been some of the most challenging of my career. I mean, I really didn't exactly think I would be navigating my way through a global pandemic during the last few months of my service. But you know what I can also honestly say? These months have also been the most rewarding. I want you to know that I have always acted with what I believe is in the best public's interest, whether or not if you agreed with me. While this is my chance to update you on the state of our city and our neighborhoods, it is also my opportunity to thank you all for your support over the last 20 years. I grew up in a home dedicated to public service, and being a politician in my home was viewed as a distinction. It's been my great fortune to serve this community, first on council and now as mayor. And I can say with every fiber of my being that this has been the greatest honor of my life. In this job, I've always done the best to follow my gut, ask for advice when I needed it, listen to public input, and live up to your expectations as mayor. So thank you. All righty. As my last speech, that was a tough one, as was Thursday night. But it's time for the good stuff. It's time for the awards portion of our program. I'll be recruiting some help from my council colleagues to recognize all of the honorees, and who better to start it off than Mr. Randy Keating himself. Councilmember Keating,
and thank you again for your 20 years of service. Good morning, Tempe. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited that we found a way to recognize our awesome residents this year in light of everything that's going on in our country and in the world. As you mentioned in your speech, Mayor, the arts have really helped people feel good and stay connected during this time of increasing social isolation. And I'm honored to kick off this year's Arts and Culture category. A little background on the Arts and Culture Awards. Arts and Culture Award. 2020 marks the second year honoring individuals and organizations that have made significant contributions to arts and culture in Tempe through the State of the Neighborhoods and Awards event. This year, the Arts and Culture Commission received 12 nominations following their public call for nominations, and 4 recipients were selected for special recognition today. The first is Kaylee Shutters, the Community Impact Award. Tempe Arts and Culture, the Tempe Arts and Culture Award for Community Impact goes to Kaylee Shutters. Kaylee shines in her role as chair of the Art Masterpiece program at Broadmoor Elementary School right here in Tempe. She has been involved in the program as a volunteer for 7 years. Her passion for providing equal access to art goes above and beyond. Kaylee brings extra projects to students throughout the school year, giving special care and attention to all and thoughtfully attending to those classrooms that are under-resourced. Through her dedication and combination of grant writing, volunteering, and rallying help from community members and businesses, Kaylee exemplifies leadership in arts and culture in Tempe. Please join me in honoring Kaylee Shutters with the 2020 Tempe Arts and Culture Award for Community Impact. I'm gonna clap. There's a picture of Councilmember Navarro and Kaylee and I, and the Arts and Culture Commission, Justin Stewart. Commission Chair, Justin Stewart. Our next award goes to, I went down too far. Our next award goes to Ron May, the Artistic Trailblazer. In Ron's role as founder of the Artistic Director of Stray Cat Theater, he embodies creative leadership. Stray Cat Theater continually brings the best avant-garde theater to the Tempe community and provides a thoughtful, inclusive agenda through the arts. Ron's key eye for identifying vital new work procedures, a distinctive theoretical experience, and sets Tempe apart from other cities in the valley. Thank you, Ron, for your continued innovation in arts and culture and your dedication to bringing bold contemporary theater to Tempe Center for the Arts and our local community. Please join me in honoring Ron May as the 2020 Arts and Culture Award winner for Artistic Trailblazer. Those are 2 really impressive Tempeans, but we have a whole bunch more to come. So with that, I would like to turn over the stage to Councilmember Joel Navarro. Joel, you ready to take it?
Thanks, Councilmember Keating. Appreciate the opportunity to do this. During my years on council, I've been working to lower the barriers for musicians to play their music in their favorite spots. I'll continue to work to find those opportunities with musicians and the arts and cultures because it's such an important part of our creating, frankly, a cool city. With that being said, let's find out who's out there making this city cool. First up, we have Paige Reeser, Engaged Educator. Tempe Arts and Culture Award for Engaged Educator goes to Paige Reeser. In her role as an art teacher at Gilliland Middle School, Paige continues to strive to provide an art experience for all students at least once in their life. At least once in her life. She makes the priority to bring art to her students and to accomplish the feat through fundraising, securing grants, organizing student exhibits, and inviting professional artists into the classroom. Paige regularly demonstrates commitment and dedication to the Tempe community through volunteerism and advocacy of local arts and culture programs and events. So please join me in honoring Paige Reeser with the 2020 Tempe Arts and Culture Award for Engage Educator. I'll play my sound. All right. The next one is, I think we're waiting on it. So our next award goes to A. Claire Slattery for Cultural Connector. As a Tempe DJ and a musician known for her eclectic neighborhood music showcases, including Tempe's iconic Vanishing Show, A. Claire Slattery stands out as one of Tempe's cultural stewards. We appreciate her nurturing and the local art scene with her dedication and honoring the importance of live music carries within our community and identity. A. Claire's work reminds us that music and arts starts in our neighborhoods. The only thought community participants and vigilance can we ensure that Tempe remains and welcomes the support to welcome and a supportive place for all creatives. Please join me to honoring A. Claire Slattery as our winner of the 2020 Tempe Arts and Cultural Award for Cultural Connector. We're looking forward for more good vibes, and congratulations, Claire. All right, and then now we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Councilmember Kuby and to learn and hear more about sustainability and those honorees.
Thanks so much, Joel. So you're right, these next folks are doing so much to keep our neighborhoods energy efficient, carbon neutral, and sustainable. This awards category was added just 3 years ago in partnership with the Sustainability Commission. The Sustainability Award recognizes individuals and groups who innovate, collaborate, and inspire us all as we build a more livable and resilient city. 2 Sustainability Award winners were selected this cycle. One is a resident and one is a local business. Both exemplify the magic that happens when sustainable intentions and practices infuse our community. So let's go with the 2020 Sustainability Resident Award, which goes to Wendy Jung. Wendy's quiet and purposeful lifestyle inspire others and earn rave reviews from her family, her neighbors, her former students. She recently retired from teaching, and the community at large. She modeled sustainability for her students and her peers by walking and biking to school nearly every day for 15 years. And she always made time to work in the school garden as well. Her Wesleyan Drive home has become a model of sustainability with projects including lush, thriving desert landscaping, energy efficient dual pane windows, foam insulation under the roof, Energy Star appliances, rooftop hot water solar panels, solar ovens, and even countertops made from beer bottle shards. She really walks the talk. And I'd be remiss in not mentioning another way Wendy has contributed to sustainability in our city. She gave us her amazing son, Kendon, who chairs the Sustainability Commission and has served on that groundbreaking commission from its very inception back in 2015. Please join me in honoring Wendy Jung as the 2020 Sustainability Resident Award winner. Thank you so much, Wendy. So now on to our Sustainable Business Award. And this year's winner is Kyle McIntosh. He is president of MAC6, an entrepreneurial center that includes 150,000 square feet of traditional and non-traditional office spaces in a co-working environment. It's located just west of Broadway and Priest. MAC6 also features a separate co-manufacturing space. They practice sustainability from their exterior desert landscaping, solar panels, electric car charging stations, wahoo, to their interior use of Truce eco-friendly made in Tempe cleaning supplies, thank you Diane Pert, exclusively flow water stations with reusable containers and water bottles, and they locate recycling in every space. They have motion sensor lighting, they use recycled jeans as wall insulation, and they have many shared building resources. Tours of their co-working and co-manufacturing space are available to the public. So please join me in honoring Kyle McIntosh and MAC6 as our most sustainable business for 2020. Congratulations, Kyle. Now, on to the Water Conservation Lush Landscape Award. This is a brand new award. The first year we're giving this category. It was launched by our City of Tempe water conservation staff. They wanted to recognize and celebrate landscapes that exhibit excellence in the following 7 principles of xeriscape, including landscape planning and design, featuring native and desert adapted plant selection, proper use of mulches, and appropriate maintenance that highlights plant health and celebrates the natural shape and beauty of plants. So congratulations to Roberta Neal Miller, my neighbor, and her East Del Rio property for being the very first LUSH Landscape Award recipient. These principles include intentional and inviting landscape planning, and it just exemplified in her winning East Del Rio landscape in Central Tempe. She lovingly cares for her yard, and her backyard is the scene of many a neighborhood meeting where we all get together and enjoy the beauty of a lush desert landscape. So thank you so much, Neil. These properties are great examples of how to transform your home or your business into a sustainable paradise. But now it's time to learn how to care for your alleyway behind your home. Councilmember Adams, will you do the honors?
Thanks, Vice Mayor Kuby. Alleys can be great assets to the community. I'm a big fan of alleys myself, especially when you have those in this category in your neighborhood. This year, 2 residents nominated by their grateful neighbors and selected for special recognition by the Neighborhood Advisory Commission are being honored with the Alley Upkeep Golden Rake Award for keeping their alleys incredibly clean. Tony Pike, Alley Upkeep Golden Rake Award winner. Tony's nomination is full of appreciation for his good deeds. For over a dozen years now, he has taken it upon himself to ensure that his neighborhood, including the alleys, shine. Tony looks out for his neighbors, ensuring all the blue bins are rolled out for collection and then stowed away quickly afterwards. As soon as the monsoon storms clears, Tony is already out there cleaning the curbs and gutters and removing debris. Tony always has a smile and a friendly wave for Tempe's first responders and solid waste and recycling collection staff. We salute you today and thank you for your efforts to keep Tempe clean and tidy. Congratulations to Tony Pike on being selected as a 2020 Alley Upkeep Golden Rake Award winner. Woohoo! Congratulations, Tony. Next, we have Jesse Fairchild, who also won the Golden Rake Award. Jesse Fairchild cleaned and spruced up the alley by his North Tempe home, filling over 6 dumpsters with trash and debris, and then went the extra mile and collected donations to commission an artist to paint a lovely, large floral wall mural. Tony didn't stop there either. He talked to the local Circle K to ask them to provide an additional garbage can and to help the area kids and customers place their garbage in a can rather than littering the alleyway. We celebrate you today, and you are so appreciative, and we are so appreciative of your efforts to keep Tempe clean, beautiful, and tidy. Please join me in honoring Jesse Fairchild for being selected as the 2020 Alley Upkeep Golden Rake Award winner. Speaking of keeping things clean and tidy, the next group award honorees understand the importance of keeping litter out and ushering beauty in. Councilmember Chin, let's hear about those in the property beautification category.
Thanks, Councilmember Adams. You're right. The Property Beautification Awards honor residential and commercial properties that are nominated by neighbors and neighborhood groups, with the winners then selected by the Neighborhood Advisory Commission. The property beautification projects we're recognizing today have connected and inspired neighbors with the beauty, creativity, and transformative nature of all improvements made. First up, let's talk about the Tony Liberatori residence. Tony Liberatori's home is an oasis. It features every imaginable flower, tree, and bush, and serves as an incredible paradise for pollinator insects. His inventive methods, water conservation measures, and ability to grow nearly everything in the desert, including some very lovely tomatoes, is awesome. Tony is also very generous in sharing his knowledge and tips and seeds with his South Tempe Altamira Neighborhood Association neighbors. They really appreciate that. And He's also taught many of our other community members through City of Tempe green organics and water conservation classes. Please join me in honoring Tony Liberatori as the 2020 Property Beautification Honorable Mention awardee. Next up, the Brent Weinberger residence. Brent Weinberger has received rave reviews for being an awesome neighbor and for transforming the landscaping of his home on Fairmont Drive in the Dromedary Neighborhood Association. This transformation started nearly from scratch when he removed everything but the existing trees. Brent then installed new sprinklers, a drip system, grass, concrete steps leading to the front door, and a metal flower bed and planters made entirely of upcycled items. Great job, Brent. Please join me in honoring Brent Weinberger as the 2020 Property Beautification Award winner. Hey, Tony and Brent, we salute you and thank you for making our city more beautiful. Also, I may be stopping by for some landscaping tips. Mayor, it's back to you for the main category, Neighbor of the Year.
Wow. Thank you, Arlene. And thank you to all my council colleagues for those great introductions. We've heard some amazing awardees, but we've saved the grand finale for the last. The Tempe City Council began celebrating the Neighbor of the Year awards in 1995, dedicating them to the contributions and memory of Chuck Malpeat, an esteemed local teacher and advocacy for participatory governance. Now, on a personal note, Chuck is a very good personal friend of my family. He taught with my father, and my father and Chuck worked to help create what is the first city in the valley, the neighborhood associations. So that's something that's really, really meaningful to me personally, but also it's a great to have his name as really had his name behind the Neighbor of the Year nominee. So each year, a Neighbor of the Year nominee honors Chuck's memory through their commitment to their neighbors and passion for improving and maintaining the highest quality of life in Tempe neighborhoods through positive problem solving, proactive planning, and neighborhood organizing. This year, 9 nominations were received for Neighborhood Advisory Commission consideration as Neighbor of the Year, and all of you are in good company and are being celebrated and thanked for your work as community connectors today. McKeel is described by her admiring neighbors as an inspiring leader who has built an increased sense of community by devoting so much of her own time and energy into making Estate La Colina a desirable, fun, and safe neighborhood to live in. Her efforts to bring arts in the park events, programming, and monthly second Saturday events to keep music and the connections flowing are very much appreciated. Additional events that she has helped coordinate include yoga in the park, marimbas and appetizers, an ice cream social with Hawaiian dancers, and even the band Sugar Thieves. She also got a block watch going, and she also has some tremendous contributions to her community. Please join me in honoring McKeel Kinney with Neighbor of the Year Honorable Mention Award today. Congratulations, and keep helping neighbors connect, McKeel. Thank you. Gail's dedication to service in her Raintree neighborhood and the community dates back to the late 90s. Gail's creativity, sense of humor, organization, passion, and compassion goes into every endeavor she touches, whether planning a chili cook-off, potluck, or supper for singles, bunco night, or nurturing another kitten until they find their forever home. Gail keeps her Raintree neighbors informed and connected, and her work as Tempe Neighborhoods Together board member further helps to keep our entire community connected. Please join me in honoring Gail Majors with a Neighbor of the Year Honorable Mention Award today. Congratulations, Gail, and keep connecting. Thank you, Gail. Now I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Arredondo Savage. Will you do the honors of introducing a couple of the other outstanding Neighbor of the Year honorees?
Hey, hello. Absolutely. I'm very excited to be able to help. I know we're not together today and on stage, but I did my best to decorate a little bit just to show how much I appreciate all these outstanding neighbors. And I just got to say, it was really great to be able to participate in the caravan to deliver the awards and the yard signs. Even though we might have woken up a couple of people, hey, sorry, I definitely do think it was worth it. You guys are really remarkable, and you're all winners in our book, so thank you all so very much. So our very first Neighbor of the Year award, honorable mention, goes to Allison Quinn, Gary Brennan, and Jana Lynn Granillo. Allison, Gary, and Jana Lynn, these three friends and chairs of their adjacent neighborhood associations exemplify Together We Are Better. Their combined collaborative efforts have improved the safety and sense of community for residents living in the rural Geneva, Hughes Acres, and Meyer Park neighborhoods, which I have to say that happens to be my neighborhood. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for what you continue to do. Game parties, complete with prizes, entertainments, games, and sponsors are now much looked forward to annual events. The Marianne Corridor Neighborhood Grant Projects have improved Meyer Park with new benches, bike racks, playground equipment, accessibility to all picnic areas, and over 50 new shade trees. And thanks to all that came out and actually helped plant those shade trees. The success of the toy drive for Care 7 and the Fun Field Arts in the Park event shows good things that are happening when all three of these neighborhoods work together. So please join me in honoring, which we like to say, the collaborative, made up of Gary Brennan, Jana Lynn Granillo, and Allison Quinn, with Neighbor of the Year Honorable Mention Awards today. So congratulations, and keep collaborating. Congratulations. Thank you guys for what you do. Woo! Nice work. Next, I'd like to recognize Ken Perrin, Neighbor of the Year honoree. It's only fitting that the honoree parade stop by Clark Park Community Garden to connect with Ken. It's practically his second home and where he can be found nearly every Saturday morning. Ken's nominator, John Stone, shared that Ken has taken on a leadership role and aptly described him, which I really like this one, described him as the straw that stirs the drink. Fellow nominator Deb Bacorn with the Tempe Community Action Agency emphasized that Ken serves as an inspiration to garden projects and has been an outstanding leader and mentor to the garden volunteers and is critical to the garden's vision. Lucky Garden and lucky us. Please join me in honoring Ken Perrin, the straw that stirs the drink, with the Neighbor of the Year Honorable Mention Award today. Congratulations, keep gardening and mentoring, Ken. Congrats, good job, woo! Nice. And now I have the opportunity to recognize a wonderful family, Ryan, Amy, Nathaniel, and Cameron Stewart, Neighbor of the Year honorees. The Stewart family is amazing. Their kindness and neighborliness has made a world of difference to Darlene and Bill Justice. After Bill's August 2019 fall from a ladder, which unfortunately took place just right after his recent hip surgery, he had to endure a long, painful recovery from hip and femur surgery. That fall, the entire Stewart family, Ryan, Amy, Nathaniel, and Cameron, stepped up to offer a surprise gift of regular supplies of firewood. This ongoing and completely unexpected act of kindness surprised and delighted Bill and Darlene and helped Bill throughout his recovery progress. Bill was able to enjoy his long cherished warm fires in the family room and was further uplifted knowing he had such caring neighbors willing to lend a helping hand. They sound like really incredible neighbors. So please join me in honoring Ryan, Amy, Nathaniel, and Cameron Stewart with the Neighbor of the Year Honorable Mention Award today. Thank you for making volunteerism and generosity a family affair. So good job. Woo! Hey! Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Mayor. I know you're up with two big ones today, the Neighbor of the Year and the Chuck Malpete Award that you just mentioned. But before I go, before I pass it back to you, I just want to say thank you. This is your final speech, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, as mayor, and it's so fitting that your final speech is the event that you created. Neighborhoods and people are the foundation of this community. I think we all know that. This is an amazing community because of the people and the neighbors. And I don't think that goes without saying. So this event really nails that sentiment, how much community connections matter. You, Mayor, Tempe Titan, have always, with this event, but also really throughout your tenure, been a champion for this city and for the neighborhoods. You've encouraged all of us council members and all of our neighbors to go to as many GAIN events as you can. I don't know how many GAIN events I've been to with you, but between you and our neighborhood staff, I know we can hit quite a few in a one night. I don't know what the record is, but maybe it's like 18 or something, but it is really remarkable, and I know that has always been a priority in your book. Little League opening day, I don't think you've ever missed one. And all those Saturday morning park renovations, grants openings, the first one always there with the donut in his hand, Mark Mitchell, the mayor. So, you know, your leadership, your actions have always shown how much you care about the city and about our people. So on behalf of my council colleagues and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being that amazing champion for our neighborhoods. We couldn't have asked for a better leader, and the things that you've instilled in us and how much you valued our neighborhood. And I just want to say thank you. It's truly been an honor. Back to you, Mayor.
Thanks, Robin. God, you kind of make it hard now. Thank you so much, Robin. All right, I hope you all have been having some fun. I love seeing your comments and support for your friends and family, as well as your neighbors. This is exactly why we wanted to take this time today to bring everyone together and celebrate all the good deeds that happening around us. And it's so important that we do that. And there's a lot of stuff that we do as a city that sometimes you may not know, but I just want you all to know, I want to thank my council colleagues for everything that they do, because we truly do care about the great city of Tempe, and especially our neighborhoods, which are the cornerstone of our community. So we're excited to present Joel Stern with the 2020 Neighbor of the Year Award. Joel's nomination highlighted all that he has accomplished in the 3 short years that he's lived in this neighborhood located just west of Mill Avenue and north of Southern. For starters, he had a successful neighborhood association underway in only a few short months. From there, Joel encouraged his Dromedary Neighborhood Association neighbors to participate in the Neighborhood Olympics, started a Facebook page, coordinated neighborhood garage sales, a game night, and he helped host regular Front Porch Fridays. He spearheaded applying for the Marianne Corridor Neighborhood Grant, and now the neighborhood has a Dromedary Neighborhood ID sign, toppers. Joel's work on traffic calming measures is ongoing, and he still finds times to arrange potlucks and think up creative and fun ways to bring his fellow neighbors together. Please join me in honoring Joel Stern with a 2020 Neighbor of the Year Award today. Congratulations on your award, and keep connecting, Joel. Woo! Congratulations. And now it's time for the Chuck Malpete Award. And while the nominating and voting is all done without the council, I honestly can't think of anyone more deserving. Kim's nomination was practically a book featuring pages of her accomplishments. We are just going to touch on a few of them here. Like Kim's passionate and tireless work to care for and improve the Evelyn Hallman Park and Papago Park, her tremendous support of the Papago Park Preserve Initiative, her role as president of North Tempe Neighborhood Association, keeping everyone updated and motivated with information and delicious homemade cookies. She has also helped to coordinate proper trimming of creosote bushes, helped to secure the Marianne Corridor neighborhood grants, allowing for park improvements from concrete trash cans with metal lids to shade trees around ramadas. And let's not forget her personal donation of antique glassware and a chair to the Eisendrath House. So thank you, Kim, for caring. Thank you so much for the many community members and our shared parks environment. So please join me in honoring Kim Gaffney Loza with the 2020 Chuck Malpe Neighbor of the Year Award. Congratulations, Kim. Very much deserved. Thank you for your contributions. It's an honor to present you again with the Chuck Malpe Neighbor of the Year Award. Thank you so much. All right, folks. It's time to wrap up this year's first ever virtual State of the Neighborhood. As council members, we have so much fun with events like this where we can tease each other a little bit and interact with all of you. In Tempe 11, we'll have a recording of this online if you'd like to share it with your friends and your family members. Now, I'd like to thank some staff members with this opportunity. I really want to thank our neighborhood staff again. Elizabeth Thomas, Laura Kaifas, Shauna Warner, thank you so much for what you do. You're such an important, integral part of our neighborhood programs in the city. You are the connection between the council as well as all the staff in the city for our entire city. So thank you so much for what you do. I love the honor of working with you, and I'll continue to love the honor to continue to work with you in the future. I want to thank Sam Sturck as well as Alex Chin for helping us with this virtual neighborhood, State of the Neighborhoods. Thank you so much for both of you. And of course, I can't forget my incredible staff from Elizabeth Higgins and Brianne Fisher. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you for what you do. I love both of you. I love all the city employees. I love the residents of Tempe. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday. Take care.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for joining us this morning on Mark Mitchell's 7th Annual State of the Neighborhoods. If you would like to receive the Brewing Strong Connections mug, please visit the City of Tempe's Neighborhood Services website and click on the 2020 State of the Neighborhoods RSVP link. Again, if you already have your coffee mug in hand, let's see them. Snap some photos and post them online using hashtag Brewing Strong Connections. Thank you everyone for attending.